So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're going to learn about Adobe Photoshop from the beginner level. And this tutorial is going to be very easy, as I'm going to start it from the background or from the bottom side. So you're going to understand Adobe Photoshop, which is one of the softwares for graphic design, and this is going to make you understand it better and how to use it. Adobe Photoshop is a very good software for graphics and design, and most of the people use it on graphics design, where some of the people use it for photo editing, some of the people will use it for poster and banner designs. Other people will use it in branding, like branding things like in branding, whereby they use Adobe Photoshop to design for branding. Some of the people use it for social media production and social media designs. We also have some people who are using it for logo design, where if you want a company logo, they use Adobe Photoshop. Some of the people use it for web design, for mockups, and others use it even for wireframes. So we have some people using it for digital painting, and it has so many. With Adobe Photoshop, you are able to create to design banners, roll-up banners, t-shirt designs, cape designs, and so on. So Adobe Photoshop is widely known for its usage. It is the most used with the graphic designers. So you will get it being used by a number of people, photographers, designers, marketers, and content creators, because most of the people want to understand what it does. Okay, so as we start to understand Adobe Photoshop, what you need to understand is that there are rules in graphics and design. As much as you want to learn graphics and design, you need to understand the effects, you need to understand the laws of graphic design, so that at least when you're using Adobe Photoshop, you can be in line with it. It is not the only software for graphics and design, but it is the most used software for graphics and design, and it is good, very good for manipulation, very good for manipulation. So let me take you through Adobe Photoshop, and this will make you also understand how this software work. So when we go now directly to understanding the interface, what we have here is the interface of Adobe Photoshop. Okay, this is the interface of Adobe Photoshop. The interface of Adobe Photoshop is divided into sections, whereby we have a menu bar. The menu bar is this top area here. This is the menu bar, whereby you can see we have file, we have edit, we have image, we have layer here, we have type here, we have select here, we have filters, we have 3D, we have view, and we have windows, and we have help. Of course, all this is called menu bar. Okay, now menu bar consists of those tools that we can see on the menu top there. This is where all major commands are found. The commands that control Adobe Photoshop, you will get them here. Then the option B, part B, where is in this interface, we have what is called option bar. Okay, option bar is located below the menu bar, whereby when you click any of the tools, these are the tools. Let me talk about the tools first. These are the tools here. When you want to use the tools, these are the tools for Adobe Photoshop. So what are tools? Example, if you want to go to work somewhere as a carpenter, of course you have to carry your tools. What are the work of the tools? To help you do your work. They are just machines to help you do your work. Like, for example, you want to make a table, you need a hammer, you need a you need nails and many more. So also in Adobe Photoshop we have these tools. They are just tools for designer, whereby designer will use these tools to do his own designs. So these are the tools that you will use as a designer to do your own design, and we will come to this tool so that you understand every tool and how these tools work, so that you become a graphics designer. So if you are in these tools, okay, if you are in these tools, so I want to tell you something. We've said these are the tools. The moment you click on a tool like this, you will see some changes here. This, when I click on move tool, you see this, there is a change. This place here is called option bar. The option bar gives you the options of each and every tool. Each tool has its option. So it's like you click on a tool and that tool has several settings. Okay, then apart from that, it always option bar always come when clicked. Upon clicking on top here, you notice that some options have changed. When I click on move, the options have changed. So these are the options that control how you use the tool that is selected. So if you go back to our toolbar, the moment you click on them, like for example now we are on this tool, you can see the options here. You can see the option bar here. We have the option bar here. This is the option bar. So when you want to access your option bar, you just have to click on the tool. So that is the option bar. Then we have the menu bar. So this is menu bar, this is option bar. Okay, this is option bar, and this is tool. This is toolbar. So when we say about toolbar, this is where the tools are kept. Okay, now if we go down a bit, we have toolbar, we have toolbar on the left side. We've talked about the toolbar where the tools are kept. Then we have the panels. The panels are always on the right side. So when we talk about the panel, then this is the panel on the right side. This is the panel here. So we have the panel here. This area is called panel bar. So we have so many panels. You can create more panels, color, swatches. We'll talk about all this. These are panels. We still have these panels here. They're just panels to help you control what is in your field. Okay. The next thing we have in the panel, we have inside the panel you can have layers panel, color panel, property panel, adjustment panel, and many more. How do you get all this if you don't get them here? Because at times you will get that Photoshop does not bring them here. You go to your Windows. Okay, if you want to bring these ones here, you go to your Windows and select them. So upon selecting them, they will come here. These ones that you see here, they are in Windows. The moment you click on Windows, for example, if I click on Windows here, I click on Windows, I have patterns, I have layers, I have all this. You see the ones that are tick means they are active. Let's see, for example, LAN. Let us look for LAN. Where is LAN? Where is LAN? Here is LAN. Let's look for layers. Where is layers? Layers. But when I click, I deselect, the layer disappears. But when I select it, the layer appears. So that is how it works. So when you point on any tool, when you point on any panel in the window, it appears on the panel bar on the right side. Okay, then we have something called workspace. What is a workspace? A workspace is just empty space that is there for you to use. If you want to write something on your book, you have a book, okay? You have a book, then you want to start writing on your book. Then what you do, you want to start writing on your book. So what you do here, it's very simple. You look for the working area. So I want to write notes on my book. So I will start writing notes, right? Start writing notes. So this area, okay, is called working space. Where you write is called working space. So in graphic design, when you're using Photoshop, you also have a working space. How do you get to the working space? Okay, I told you in the working space, the white, it is a white area where you design and edit images, edit your design. So I will show you how you can go to the working space. Let us go direct and see how you make your working space. I have explained this all, and the option bars, the menu bars, the toolbars, and the workspace here, which we don't have at the moment. So let us try to find our workspace. For you to find a workspace, you need to go to File, create a new document. New, a window will pop up just as this one here popped up. Then name. The name is the title of what you want to do. For instance, let's say, for example, we want to design a poster. Poster is good, so I will give it a name, poster design. Okay, poster design. But most of the people will name them according to what the client want, like church poster design, so that when you come back, you know where the church poster design is, or you can give it the name of the client. Or if James church poster design, so it depends, so that maybe you have so many designs, so it will be very easy for you to locate it. So that is the name. So when we come to document type here, okay, these are just size of dimension. Okay, what is dimension? Dimensions are just the size of your artwork. Okay, the area of your artwork, the size of your paper, the size of your banner, the size of your sticker, the size of your ID card, the size of your branding area. So where do you want to place this? That becomes a factor. So let's do this. Let's say, for example, for us, we want to do A4. So when you come to document type here, it's asking you which document type. For us, we are using international paper, because international papers are in line with the machines that we are using in Kenya. So international paper mostly are papers like A4, A5, A3. So when you click here, I will get them. But you can also use more web when you are maybe designing mockups using Adobe Photoshop. You go for web. You are designing website mockups, or mobile apps mockups, or film, okay, or art illusions, or iconography. So but for now, we will choose international paper because we want to go with A4. Now, upon choosing international paper, it asks you again. So it will ask you, which size do you want? Yes, international papers are so many papers. So which size? Number one, we have A4, A6, A5, A3. We have B5, B4, B3, C4, C5, C6, and DL. So for now, as I said earlier, we want to use A4 size. Don't forget, I am showing you this setting so that we reach to our workspace. So the size of A4 paper, okay, the size of A4 paper, I don't know if I have A4 paper. so that I can show you A4 paper somewhere here. Yes, I have an A4 paper here. So this is an A4 paper. Okay, so first thing I need to tell you is when it is straight like this is called portrait. When it is like this is portrait. When it is like this is landscape. So we need to understand. So when bottom going out is very long, bottom going top is very long, we call it landscape, we call it portrait. When left going right is very long, we call it landscape. Okay, this is the landscape, this is portrait. So that is what I mean by A4. Let's continue. Now you see, now width means left going right, which means left going right is 210 millimeters. Top going down, which is height, is 297 millimeters. That you are making something that is long, a paper that is straight. But if you want it to be portrait, you have to change 210 to go down and 297 to go up. That will be landscape. At the moment it is portrait. Portrait means the length from bottom to up is longer, okay, but the width, which is left to right, is shorter. So that is now why we call it landscape. And we call others, when some are using, they say I want something that is in portrait or landscape. So when a client tells you to make something in portrait or landscape, you have to understand the difference between a portrait and a landscape. Also here we have measurements. This 210 is measured in millimeters. Height also is measured in millimeters, but you can also convert it into pixels. There's nothing that has changed. This means that 210 millimeters is equivalent to 2480 pixels. 2480 pixels is equivalent to 21 centimeters. 21 centimeters is equivalent to 210 millimeters. 210 millimeters is equivalent to 49.61 picas. 49.61 picas is equivalent to 3.163 columns. So don't worry, the size is actually the same. For me as a designer, I love using pixels. Okay, now going down here we have something called resolution. When you're using a resolution as a graphic designer, ensure always your resolution is at a standard of 300. But if you are a videographer, your resolution can be 75 because the dimension is bigger. But resolution, when you increase to be like 4, when you make yours to be a 4 as a graphic designer, then your design is going to consume more much colors, which might exaggerate your design and make it look very bad. And if you go downer than 300 also, it might pixelate. In design we call it raster. It might show some rasters in your design. Rasters is a design that is not clear, but is a design that looks like something that is kind of raining. A design that looks like raining. That is why we call it raster. So color mode, use RGB color. I want you to listen to this very well. As a graphic designer who is designing something for the social media, email marketing, okay, to send on mobile phones or on computer, or to use it on internet, you will need to save your project as RGB. Okay, so if it is something that is designed for social media and all that, it will be saved as RGB. But if you are doing this design so that you are you print it, you need a print out on hard copy, maybe banner, sticker, poster, and all that, you don't save it as RGB, but you will save it as CMYK. I know so many people will ask, what is the difference between CMYK and RGB? RGB means red, green, and blue. The computer that you are using can only mix RGB colors. These are just primary colors that can be mixed to get so many colors that you used. Okay, and the internet is designed to understand RGB. Your mobile phone is designed to understand RGB and many other. And now, if you're going to print this design, if you want to design, one will be RGB and the other one will be CMYK. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. Then CMYK. If you are going to print a banner, a sticker, a poster, ensure you save the color mode is CMYK. C stand for cyan, M stand for magenta, Y stand for yellow, K stand for black. So the machine, the printing machine, can only mix these colors to give you the colors that you want. Can only mix CMYK to give you the design as you designed it. But for you to view it on machine, you will need to use RGB. So it means when you're using Adobe Photoshop, you need to use RGB because of course you are using a computer. Okay, of course we have 8 bits. This is the lowest bit that you can make your machine start counting from. 8-bit is the smallest bit, so if we use these colors, we use 8 bits. We are also looking at the pixels. Okay, how many pixels? So this is very important because when we talk about pixels, we talk about colors, and this is where it turns to megapixels. And from megapixels, if you have low megapixels, this is why your image now reduces the quality. And if you have more megapixels, this is now your image looks unbalanced. But if you stick to resolution that is standard 300, then you become your design becomes standard, and you become someone who knows how to balance colors and resolution in your design. So we have background content. What is background content? We can see background content, then we can see here color white, then we can see the white color on a box here. This means that this place, the area, the workspace that we are going to use, which color do you want the workspace to be? You can choose the color of the workspace. You can choose red. On this side you can choose blue. It depends with what you want. But it's just like going to the shop, then you buy a book that has black cover, black pages in it. You go to a shop, then you ask for a book, then you buy a book with red pages. Okay, so everyone wants to write on white. That's why we want our working area to be on white. If we put it on blue, and maybe you have some designs that are in blue, then we won't be able to view your design perfectly. So it is advised for designers to stick to the standard color, that is white background, because even the papers are on white color. Then after that we are done. The rest, don't mind the rest. What we need to concentrate on is this. Now after that, I need also to tell you something. The dimensions that you see here is not that every dimension is in Photoshop. No, not all the dimensions are in Photoshop. For example, the dimension of your house window is not in Photoshop. Is not automatically in Photoshop. It will be here when you measure it and put it here. The dimension of your door Okay, dimension of the banner. The client wants a banner but doesn't know dimension, because where the banner is going to place has not been measured. The measurement is not here. So you don't build a banner before you measure where the banner is going to be placed, okay, to be pinned. So first you need to measure. For example, I have measured my window and I found that my window is 90 centimeters by that is width, by height is, let's say, 230 centimeters. That is what I will place. Then after printing this, when I go and place it on my window, then it will automatically get and attach exactly to the frames of the window. So don't do something thinking that Photoshop has all the dimensions that you need. No. Photoshop only contain dimensions that are international recognized. The paper formats, the A3, the A4, the A2, the A5, the A6, the A7, and what I've shown you here. Okay, I've shown you all here. A4. These are the dimensions that Photoshop will give us. You don't see the dimension of your window here. It is not there. Neither you will not see the dimension. For example, you are doing a car branding and you want to do the how do we call it, the stickers for the, how do we call these people, for the how do we call them, we want to do the stickers of passengers windows. We need to measure all the windows by their sizes, come and start design, come and place the measurements that we found. After placing the measurements that we found, after that we can start designing on that measurement. When the window is going to be sticked on the, when the sticker is going to be sticked on the window, at the window, then it is going to be exactly a fixed size according to your measurement. So you need to take measurements very serious. So after that, what I will do here, I will just go and click on OK, and that is our working area. And now you can see how things are done. And what we have here is actually now Adobe Photoshop workspace. We are now ready to work. You can see the changes now. We don't have an empty and black area. We have a white workspace. And this is now where you will now have your design. Okay? Now, that is how the interface of Adobe Photoshop looks like. Now in the next video, I will show you and tell you how the tools work, okay, and how we can also work with panels. We have panels on this side, and how we can work with the toolbar, menu bar, and the toolbar, and the option bar, okay, option bar. So I know now you've got something. Of course, right now the picture that you are seeing me on is in the middle of the working area. That is workspace. Now see you in the next video as we work on Adobe Photoshop tools and how to use them. And I want to tell you something. Not everyone who knows Adobe Photoshop is a designer. Designing is understanding and knowing the principles of design. You don't have to know software, but you can gauge and correct the design. So thank you so much. Let me get you in the next video as we wind up to see who will do this.
As we end this session, let's reflect what we covered. This is just the beginning. Thank you for joining Masco Training Hub. Keep creating.